have all this stuff going on. Thinking we might need to pull off all this paint because when they painted this, oh goodness phone, okay, it's like not wanting to stick, so we're gonna have to pull that off. And this is gonna be a long road ahead of us. So this obviously looks different. This over here to the right, where it's like white and brown, that is paneling. To the other side of it, to the right and the left, that's actually the wall underneath it. We decided we wanted to go ahead and take that off and deal with the wall that was underneath because I didn't like the paneling already, so this is our mess. Okay, so what I was showing here is all the nails that we took out of the wall, which was ridiculous, and how many holes we had to like fill. Look at all those holes, or those dots. Those are all nails that I had to pull out by hand. It was ridiculous. So here I'm painting the trimming. We bought it and it was wood and I wanted it white, so I started painting it and my boyfriend eventually jumped in and helped me paint the rest of it, which was a big help. But yeah, so here's a little clip of what I was doing here. The next one is gonna be me wiping it down because it did have sawdust from, like, I guess some of the dust that we had from inside, and then cutting the wood and the trimming, so yeah. So, if you're not thinking it, you're going to be thinking of it later, but the roller I'm using to paint is one of those mini ones. I know. Once I got to the middle process of it, or to the middle wall, I was like, what did I do? However, I already used a lot of my brushes. This was like the only clean one I had. I had one more, but it was complicated. So I went ahead and just worked with what I had until I was able to like get another one, or like actually clean the ones that I had correctly without like having some of the gray fall into the dark blue that I was having. So that is why I used this little bitty roller. It sucked, believe me. My arm started hurting like once I got to the top of the wall. Oh, it sucked. I think that's probably why I switched to the regular brush, but that just made it worse for myself. But anyways, so yeah. Oh, and that little like box thing, I'll put an arrow on it. It's just, I don't know what it belonged to. I just know it had like some electrical wiring, and I do not specialize in that. I don't even specialize in what I was doing in this video, but I did not want to mess with that, so I just took it off a little bit so I could paint around it, and then I resealed it afterwards. So I just didn't want to do a lot of messing around with that because I had no idea where I was going to, where was it coming from, so I just left it at that. So I know you're probably looking at the sides and maybe like, why aren't those already straight? I wasn't trying to perfect those because on that left side that I was working on, if you look at the bottom, I tried to straighten it out, but as you look closely, which I'm pretty sure I didn't bring the camera close to, it doesn't really look that great, and it looked pretty bad. So I figured I'd put tape around it so it would protect the other side and it would be easier for cleanup. Later did I know that didn't really work out as I thought it would, but here it is. So that was my plan, and I'll show you that afterwards once I'm finished painting that whole wall. Especially, I think I had to go with like a third coat because there were some spots. Seeing how I did that little mini roller, it made it a little harder with it being a little patchy. As you can see from right here, there's already like 3 rows. You can tell where they were overlapping, and it does not look great. But I learned my lesson. Don't do that again. Okay, so let's be honest. These are need to be repainted. We're going to keep them. I'm debating on if I want to go ahead and replace the knobs or not. So this is how we have the TV set up right now. It is not anything fancy whatsoever, but we're still trying to do all this on a budget. So, but this all needs to be repainted because obviously it's like losing paint, so we need to repaint that. I kind of want to change the knobs. I'm not sure. And these I want to get a little cubby thing for the bottom. The top, we can just put something that we would like to show, especially on this side as well. And this right here is a shelf. I actually ordered 2 of them, but realized one looked better. The other one would have gone all the way up to the ceiling, which would have been bad. And let's just say this room by no means is perfect, but it is a lot better than what it was before. The paneling, especially in this area right here, you can't really tell when you're away, but when you're close you can kind of see it, but it's not as bad. Like, that's so much better than having an inch of it sticking out. So that did good. And of course the top, it's like a little bit of paint remaining, but we tried to do it. We also did the trimming, obviously. There's the trimming. So yeah, I think we did pretty good for our first time. It looks good. I like it, and I feel like it looks like I'm in a room, which is for my boyfriend. So I think it looks good.